Hello and welcome back to Wine Me Up episode 3, and this week I will be tasting and trying and talking about the wines of Barolo. Wine me up! So yeah, Barolo. A few examples set up for you here. I've got plenty more of these. Nebbiolo is my favourite grape. It's a close thing. I've been really into Sangioveses this year, but Nebbiolo is definitely number one, Sangiovese number 2, man. Everything else, I love it, all wines really, but Nebbiolo for me is the best. So Barolo, wow, there's so much to say about Barolo. First, it's 100% Nebbiolo, of course, and the wines have to be aged in oak. Again, similar to Brunello. They need that time to calm the tannins down, aeration coming through the oak barrels to sort of round off the tannins. Always high acidity, again similar to Sangiovese. There's two schools of thought in the Barolo winemaking, you know, and it was here where you've probably heard that story where the old world against the new world of making wine, you know, the traditionalists believe that these wines the grapes need to come in and they need to macerate really long time to get as much tannin and flavours and everything out of them, everything totally. But when you do that, you do take a lot of tannin out of the wine as well, and they can be very bitter, so you need the wine to be in the bottle for many years so they can resolve that bitterness so you can drink them. So you have to wait like 15, 20, 25, maybe 30 years before you can drink these wines. And then you've got the modernists that came along and they went, no, hang on a minute, why don't we do like they do in France? They use barrique, much smaller barrels, so you can get flavours from those barrels, which means you can take the Nebbiolo grape and don't give it, you know, don't macerate it quite so long, so you're not extracting as many tannins out of the wine. You're still extracting obviously flavours of the Nebbiolo grape and obviously some tannins, but not so much putting it in barrique as well, and you're getting more vanilla type flavours you get from like French barrique wines, a little bit more woody oaky flavours, whereas you don't really get that from what we call botti, because they're much larger, so the wine to wood surface area is much more in a barrique compared to a botti, and the botti is never new either, so you don't really get those woody flavours, just a little bit, whereas barrique, there's lots of woody flavours. So and that gives you a more sort of a more full-bodied wine, perhaps a deeper in coloured wine, and maybe much more easygoing. But they found out you make wines like that, they don't age quite so well. Whereas when you make it in the botti, they're more structured, more elegant, you know, more floral, but you have to wait a long time. So basically now what happens is that they both learn from each other. And a lot of the Barolo wines you get, there'll always be traditionalists that just make 100% traditional wines, and there'll be ones that just make it, you know, modernist with the barrique. But most Barolos these days are actually a blend of both of them. So, you know, you're just making the best wine you can with what you got. It doesn't really matter whether it's traditional or non-traditional. What you want is a great wine. The Luigi Analdi wine that I tried, this is a traditional wine made in the botti, and this is 2012 from his Turlo Vigna Costa Grimaldi vineyard in Barolo. Now Barolo is 11 communes that are allowed to call their wines Barolo. The 5 most important, one of them is actually called Barolo, makes it more complicated, so it's Barolo if you like. You've got Lamora, Monforte d'Elba, Castiglione Folletto, then you have Serralunga d'Elba, and you have Novello, and Viduno, Rodri, Diana d'Elba, and there's 11 all in all, but those 5 are like the most important ones. And they all, and sort of Lamora is like the more elegant one. This is due to their soils really, because it's more sort of sand type soils in Lamora Barolo, a little lighter in colour, the soils. Whereas when you're going from Monforte d'Elba, Serralunga, a little bit darker soils, more clay in their soils, so the wine's a bit richer. So you may try again, like the Brunello we talked about in episode 1. You know, just saying you like Barolo. Well, no, you can't say that because I like all the Barolos myself, but they are very different from each other. You know, depending where they come from. I personally prefer the more elegant types from La Mora Barolo, whereas the Monforte and these Lunga wines, etc., they're a bit more deeper, a bit more rich. I like them as well, but I'm much more to the elegant side of things, which this most definitely is. Yeah, superb wine. Now those different winemaking styles and techniques of Botti or Barrique does make it, like I said, easier so you can drink the Nebbiolo a little bit earlier. But everything is relative, and Nebbiolo is Nebbiolo. So even if it's made in a more drinkable, straightforward style with Barrique, and it's not macerated as much, so there's not so much tannins, but even then it's Nebbiolo, and Nebbiolo tannins they're just different from other tannins, I think. They are quite structured. So no matter what, you should definitely wait. I would say, I mean look, I'm a level 3 student, I'm not a master of wine, but I would say that you should probably wait an absolute minimum of 5 years before you drink a Barolo of any type. Probably minimum of 10 would be more realistic. So the 2012 Luigi Rinaldi Turlovic no Costa Geminaldi, I just love the Italian language, although I can't, pronounce it very well, is the wine I've tasted recently. I bought a case of these a few years back. So, taste a note on this. Ah, that's interesting. Okay, let's be honest about this. The one I tasted was the actual 2011 vintage, which I bought a case of that as well. And I think that was the last one, to be honest with you. So yeah, but anyway, it was the 11 vintage we're talking about now. I'm sure this is just as good. But I rated this. Brilliant wine. 4.4. That's really high for me. I'm quite tight really. 5 is the maximum. I think people go a bit too overboard with the scores. I give this a 4.4. So, median ruby. At first, aggressively tannic, even though it's quite old, 2011, it's 2024 now, it's 13 years old. But after an hour, calmed down and revealed sweet, boiled sweet, candy sweets. You know those boiled candy sweets? A touch of strawberry, balsamic green mint, leather, earth, tar, violets and tobacco. Come on. Just that violets as well, that floral note. I love that on Nebbiolo. Love it. And balsamic notes. In the mouth, the firm, chewy tannins support the primary cherry fruit with the dried tertiary cherry fruit. Ooh. There's flat cola. Now I heard that cola being talked about. Robert Parker did it once when he was doing a, I read a Robert Parker review. He said it tastes of flat cola. Well, that's a bit weird. But it's like I do get that actually. I kind of know what he means by that. So it's got like a flat cola and green peppercorn note that takes the wine to its slightly bitter red licorice finish. Full-bodied, high acidity, savoury. I love savoury wines. Beautiful Nebbiolo. Bravo for a 2011. So there you go. And I'm pretty sure that this wine didn't cost me any more than 200 krona. So would I buy this again? Unfortunately I can't, they're sold out, but I've got a few bottles left, but most definitely. It's a superb wine. Their prices have gone a bit up now though, recently. I think you're looking at 400 krona a bottle now, and to be honest with you, it's worth it. It's a great bottle of wine. And of course, as you know, Barolo's going to be much more expensive than that. So yeah, so that's it for this week. From Barolo and Luigi Rinaldi. See you next week for episode 4.